We could actually even see Mithy's Braum against the Tahm Kench here. Braum ulti against Gragas is fantastic. Braum is good with exhaust to just tag the Talon in-game, and you can pick him against this Tahm Kench lane.
Because he wants some melee matchups.
Yeah, I think actually Braum will be a super good pick here from Mithy, and it's a staple in European finals that Mithy gets at least one game on the Braum.
And the amount of projectiles he can influence in a game-deciding manner. He can block Gragas ultis and force them to explode in front of his feet instead of going wide. He can block potentially Caitlyn projectile damage in multitude of ways. He can get rid of the Talon engage too by exhaust and stacking concussive blow. So it's a very potent pick.
Is locked in, is secured, so G2 seem to once again have answers to the Unicorns team composition.
I mean, coming into this, we were kind of writing down missing meta picks for both teams. The list was actually fairly long for Unicorns of Love. The list on the side of G2 was like Gragas, top lane, done. That was it. That was the only champion we haven't really seen of like standard meta picks. So they have a massive champion pool across multiple lanes, and then that will always give you flexibility in a pick and ban phase.
Great co-casting synergy when he says we, and it's actually his list.
We
not gonna take credit for that one. That was the Vicious list. Well researched.
Well, we didn't even get to talk about all the other missing picks.
Well, maybe we won't need to. The Unicorns of Love have got themselves a carry in the top lane for Visit Shachi. Let's see if he can pop off and force deciding live.
He needs to have a clean game. My voice needs to survive as well.
Yeah. That's fine. You just stay very quiet until the soft analysis comes in, and we'll do the yellow things.
If anybody at home is playing any sort of mini games, let's look at what the win conditions are for both of these two teams.
A lot of rotations.
Where the macro will shine. The coaches shook hands, and so do the mascots. Romain and Lothar, UOL and G2. The Unicorns and the Samurai. Who will win? You guys know how Twitter works. You guys know how the wave works. Let's hope you guys know how to chant, because we're all losing our voices just a little bit.
Crowd will cast the last game.
It's game 4.
Hey, name a more iconic duo.
May you find someone that looks at you like Romain looks at this Hamburg crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, Perkz on the LeBlanc against Exile on the Talon. That's a matchup I want to watch. Flash teleports for Perkz in his mid lane. Going to be some side lane pressure that G2 can open up.
With the double TP from G2, they will have, of course, the map advantage, but that doesn't matter for the Unicorns of Love because they're looking to go mid lane. We've repeated it so many times, we've said it so many times, it's been true every single game. Xerxes in the last game has some good Gragas engages. Also had moments where he was holding on to that flash when they could go for something. I want to see him in this game be even more aggressive on it, because his team is bringing a lot of damage right behind him.
Quite tense, no more shenanigans, no invades here. We need to see if this talent pick from Exile can find return success, if they can bounce back here, or if Perkz will welcome him yet again in the lane kingdom.
Also, he's not going to have as many outplay opportunities. You know, Petrifying Gaze you can turn away from, you can dodge, you can use your ulti and walk off of Miasma. You can't do the same things against distortions and chains if Perkz is hitting his skill shot.
And chains track you while you're invisible too, which is a very tricky thing to deal with.
So great to hear the support. Hamburg, thank you for bringing the noise here in the Barclaycard Arena, cheering on the two best teams in Europe.
Let's see where these jungle paths end up ending. Maybe for potential ganks. Obviously, Rengar, very little pressure early on, but Xerxes, he could technically spice it up.
Definitely so. Normally though, again, as we talked about in the last game, Gragas, do save first clear. Maybe look for a flash gang, but you don't have to. You really do not have to. For both junglers, actually. Obviously, it comes down to placing vision then. It's not like you're just not going to do anything in the early game. Mid lane, though, is going to be fun because it's going to be an action-packed lane.
Yeah, but which lane does Xerxes decide to prioritize? You know, you've got carries and damage all over the map.
But I'm looking at the big story here. The one red thread between the entire series here. How long is this Cloudbreak going to live?
We'll find out.
Most likely long.
We'll find out. I got some support on Twitter, by the way. They appreciated the updates.
So bottom lane here, very good early trade because of level 2 spike from the Unicorns of Love, the classic bot lane power spike. Chachi, what you can do as a pushing rumble is you go in and you ward the enemy top camp here. you see it's already cleared out. You know, okay, Rengar did his path from Raptor into red buff into Crux, and now he's going to go to the bottom side. So you actually now know where the jungler is without even seeing the jungler.
Yeah. The deeper you can place those wards, the more satisfaction your team will get from it.
Talked a lot about wards, actually. G2 have been warding a whole lot more than UOL this series. Take a look at those numbers. On average, 12 control wards more per game.
And that makes me happy. As a Vision enthusiast, Denial Vision, just playing that control ward game. However, it's never the amount of control wards that you should judge. It's how you use them. And maybe Unicorns have just been slightly more efficient in the last game. Who knows?
Well, help them win the game, so can't argue with that. Xerxes wants to try to put some shenanigans.
They got it!
Gets the steal.
And that goes back to that ward that the Fisher was praising from the Rumble in the top lane. It is all connected.
The New is down on the bottom lane. The New is near that blue buff. Invades in also because they're pushing the bottom side.
Yeah, it ties in the push in the bottom there. Vishashi with the front step. It was in the highlight reel for his MVP tribute video as well, how he's willing to dodge forward, sometimes with flash. And he also knows how Camille works, because he baited Kawashard.
He did bait Kawashard. Poor guy, man.
Or did Kawashard bait himself?
I think he baited himself. But that's why Kawashard is not playing in this final, and Vishachi, he is playing in the final. Trick, though, he's on the Healer Sang.
He is indeed, but so is Perkz being jumped on. Exiles burning
Oh!
the diplomacy. They trade 1 for 1.
But Perkz is first. And in the matters of the first blood place, it does matter who finishes first.
You have to remember, though, Perkz running teleport. He can return to lane instantly. Exile needs to run after, of course, respawning. So there might be a little bit of experience advantage for Perkz after that 1 for 1 trade. So in the end, actually worth it for him. Small little advantage he's going to gain.
Yeah, because Strick was about to tax the hell out of that lane, but Perkz
like, no, please, ping, 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 ping.
Oh, Trick's going in, flash over the barrel.
Very aggressive, waiting for those cooldowns. Moves forward, the bowler strike connects. Remember that teleport you guys talked about? That's going to deliver chains onto Xerxes. He goes down, Trick gets a second.
And this is why Trick is such an intelligent player. When you're watching this scene unfold, I guarantee almost nobody could see that there was a kill opportunity there. We're wondering, why is he flashing? And as we are slowly figuring it out, Perkz, 4 seconds ago, he said, I got him.
Of course, I'm gonna TP in, man. I'm gonna take this guy down, and it's a good start now for G2's mid laner. Bottom lane still under pressure, but they're keeping even in CS, which is very important for them. Exile, this lane might get tough for him.
Ooh, and this flash body slam early on from Xerxes is really being punished here. If you're Gragas and you get killed on your level 5, it really slows down a lot, because you want to get 6 and then they gank, and if they read that gank and you have no flash, suddenly the pacing turns into Rengar favor.
Beautiful point blank chain from Perkz. Catching Exile the moment he jumps in with that Q.
That makes you wonder why LeBlanc was left open in this matchup, because Perkz has shown an affinity for this champion in his multiple forms, really, even despite the changes.
And of course, if you go back to those picks and bans, Syndra, Karma, and Lulu taken away by UOL. That Karma all series long. Obviously could have changed the impact, but this is a replay of that first blood trade.
Starts as a 1v1 here. Exile also kind of trying to bait in Perkz a little bit, and Xerxes does show up. Nice mind games as well. Looks like he's body slamming away and then turns around with the flash, but it's the 1 for 1. But then TP back for Perkz.
Dramatic zoom in for the final tip.
Yeah, but then this read, the flash over the barrel, not getting slowed. Smite comes out, but it doesn't really do too much, and he knows Perkz is coming back from teleport. And this is, and it honestly was pretty hard to spot that was a kill opportunity, and major props to Trick for realizing so.
It's a good timing as well, knowing Xerxes' flash was just used before here. So bottom lane now, Sven and Mythic getting a bit more breathing room, also with obviously no flash on the enemy Gragas, not level 6 yet. They don't really need to respect the jungler, and Trick is level 6 already.
And they can mimic the style from game 1. We talked about it time and time again, you know, this arrow into combo. Also, this lane spikes incredibly hard on level 6. Despite Tom Kench being able to kind of mess with your flow and using Devour, you can then stun him and just chain CC and get so much damage out.
But I want to see then Unicorn say, okay, if you're going to play bottom side as G2, let's go top lane. You got this Camilla here that's not tanky at all against Exile, because he's obviously stacking MR against the Gragas and the Rumble. So Exile can go up there with these early AD builds and really punish Expect.
Yeah, notice how Exile is constantly playing in his minions. Whenever he dashes forward to hit Perkz, he always wants to be behind the minion. He needs to be outside of chain range. And obviously Perkz, he can harass with spells in the minion wave without drawing aggro, so it's quite hard to really position well in this matchup.
Exile currently doing okay farm-wise. Got himself 3 of those long swords, and as you look towards the top lane, level 6 for Chachi, Xerxes, Trick, and Expects. If any fights were to break out, No room for error.
A small thing right there, but thank you, Mithy, on behalf of all our supports, for actually checking the brush on the way back. So many people skip around these brushes here saying, nah, that's probably not a control ward, and then they actually end up not finding it, and that one ward can end up having a ton of value.
Not an efficient control ward. We talked about how on average G2 have got plus 12 control wards literally.
I mean, it
3
could have
minutes
been.
ago.
It depends on your opposition, obviously. And combining vision with this Ashe pick is also really what works for G2 Esports, because they always have that hawk shot.
Now, whenever they do play these aggressive lanes in mid, Chachi likes to roam down. He's even TPing now on Rumble. They're fighting.
Mithy's the target. Equalizer comes out. Look how great that is. Mithy and Trick are being tagged. Devour buys some time for Chachi to escape. Where is Samux?
Yeah, but where is Samix? Where is Expect is what matters more, because his top lane is left open completely, and the map reset will go heavily in favor of G2. They're just stalling bases right now and then poking away, but they have to be careful.
All right, concussive blows. Can't find a stun onto Hilly. It's going to time out. The barrel comes over the wall from Xerxes. Expect has still not teleported in.
And this is so good now for Expect, because he's just sitting top lane, doesn't have to fear anything. The fact that this TP backfired from Chachi suddenly makes this pretty bad play for the Unicorns of Love.
Because not only does he get to preserve his teleport once it comes available,
Yeah,
still briefly on cooldown, but even if he had it, it's fine. Just disengaging, stalling the bases, get the wave push in, and generally when you want to base in League of Legends, if you can get a push first, that's almost always a good or a better base, and that's exactly what happens here. G2 get the map reset, and it's totally in their favor.
Totally in their favor, and Chachi was actually moving down already, but because the fight was started in mid, felt forced to probably TP in. Braum had flash available though, so Mithy just escaped, and then trading TP for flash is obviously never worth it.
And we're still looking for Trick to find an ulti somewhere. The ultimate is just on cooldown. Maybe he misclicked it in base?
That's an oopsie.
Or is that like a graphical error? I don't know, because it's so close to like being used. We don't know, we'll find out.
24 seconds left on it, so it's just on your screen. It's trying to trick all of you. 20 seconds from now, it will be available, and he can obviously use it back on the map. Now, Perks, a lot of freedom in this mid lane. Ahead in CS, got early armor as well, which is fantastic against his talent.
And look at the double control ward. There's one really well-placed ward on the ramp for Unicorns, but that's going to fade. That is a clear pathway for Perks to start putting top pressure. Trick will have ultimate very soon available. He's making sure he's not spotted. He just puts a control ward down.
I have to give a shout out to the Pantheon fans in the crowd all the way here from France. A lot of support yesterday for Soaz and bringing the noise along with the rest of the Barclaycard
And this
arena.
is the Physio's favorite gank. Rengar in the top lane.
This is a dead visit, Chachi.
Works.
Donated to Expect. That just looked so easy.
It is so easy. Chachi, no flash on Rumble, no way to get away. So easy to set up that kill, and that's great for Trick.
It's also part of his playstyle. He pushes and pushes and pushes, and he wants to take them in the grave with him. But he had to take a detour this game and was actually falling behind. Economy-wise, he was just too far up, not knowing where Trick was.
It just hurts even more with that early TP from Chachi and the flash. It was just too over-aggressive looking for that one play, and it's now backfired twice for Unicorns of Love and giving G2 the gold advantage early.
And what a terrifying position to be in. G2 1,300 up. Expect, Trick, and Perks all with a kill thanks to plays like this.
Yeah, not really a whole lot to say. It's just a very good setup against no flash Rumble and a ward in the river that obviously will not save you when Trick already popped his ult and he's on the way.
Yeah, and great control ward usage as well. G2 making sure they're not spotted. Don't giggle, don't sniffle at my control wards, Trevor.
Well, I like talking about control wards. We haven't really focused on them a huge amount this series, because UOL and G2 have given us interesting team fights.
We're gonna get more.
Decision-making.
We're gonna get more. Because Unicorns again under pressure in mid lane, but Parkour on the way out.
And the crowd is indicating what they want the Unicorns to do. Clap G2. But it's not going to happen, it seems, because they're very controlled. G2 Esports is still 1,000 gold ahead already. And they're just waiting to connect all the dots here. Land the CC and follow up.
Yeah, and when you go back to the first 2 games of the series, when G2 got themselves that advantage, they made the right calls. They didn't get caught out. They didn't make the mistakes that allowed them to pick up those wins.
And it was also Perks always just being careful when the enemy jungler could be there, but then playing with pressure once he knows he is most likely not there.
And at this point here, Perks is hovering towards top side because his duo lane is on the top side of the map, so he knows there's no vision on the bottom side, and that's why he's not going down where Xerxes can actually jump him, unless he sees maybe a kill and he gets baited.
Expect, Exile decides to jump in.
And reels him in, he just dances in front of him. gives him the illusion that Perks will overstep, but that was just a complete mind game outplay, and he's using the pressure that the Unicorns must be feeling at this very moment against Exile.
Lane Kingdom is in effect in Game 4. Perks absolutely has Exile's number in this LeBlanc matchup.
Yeah, Exile trying to bait the fight. Didn't work, so expect bot lane.
He likes going aggressive this series. The super passive tank player Expect has been slowly been fading out. Obviously, he has the support from Mythi and Sven here.
Yeah, and Exile, of course, died in mid, so there's an opening for G2 to just keep pushing in at the moment. Sven is here with Arrow, but they have to respect the fact on the tower.
Look at Trick, look at Trick.
Look
Trick
at
wants to
Xerxes.
come in. Teleport's available for Vizicachi. He's pushing the top tower.
And a bit of a failed rotation here for G2. Engaging on this Tom Kench lane. Once Expect dashes in, obviously they expect that he's there. Yes, that's his name. It's really annoying. Now Vizicachi gets a free turret top.
There's been actually now 2 times where Chachi managed to go down to the opposite lane the fastest, and he got to push in a wave, Expect had to run down and catch it, and lost the wave. Then happens top lane as well now, so Unicorns of Love, while losing a few kills, just like in the last game, are playing around these towers here. Top and tower is extremely low at this point.
And isn't that beautiful when you use a tempo advantage like that to get a CS lead?
It is absolutely beautiful. It's why we like to see it. It's why it's actually funny, because the whole tempo advantage and everything, it's something the pro teams talk about 24/7. But no one else kind of uses it.
They don't even sleep.
They don't know, it's all the time. They just dream of tempo all the time. But it's obviously not a concept that really works in solo queue very well, so a lot of people don't actually
Yeah, I've tried
get to
telling
use
people,
it.
hey guys, tempo.
I've seen you try and tell people, and yeah,
Just up the tempo, guys.
you end up
Make it
dying
work.
on your own, and then of course it's the team's fault.
Oh, Perks maybe anticipating the juke. Not going to find the ethereal chain. Still in a great position, working towards that gunblade. Also got some ingredients towards Hourglass.
I like
very,
it.
very comfortable.
Get a bit of everything, even some lifesteal in there. Why not?
Drop the CS. Almost pains me.
All right, Hellisang and Samux looking at Mythi. Mythi yells stand behind me and ironically jumps to Sven. And, takes stock of the situation. 15 minutes into the game. G2 Esports 1,500 gold up. CS advantage massive for Perks in the mid lane thanks to several outplays. But no towers have fallen just yet.
No, but we're just waiting for 2 items to be fully completed on the Perks here, the Hourglass and the Gunblade, and he will have the damage to kill Exile, and he will have the tools to survive against Exile as well. And then it suddenly becomes all about the big team fights. And we know we're going to get them. Unicorns will soon start hovering around that mid lane. Perks, see if he can stop a recall here. Succeeds.
When I look at the minimap, I can see 2 junglers in and around the bottom quadrant. A number of G2 wards, though, inside UOL's side, so they'll be aware of Xerxes' position. They don't engage yet. So what happens next? What do UOL or G2 want to do to sort of unlock their 2 team comps?
Like, Burst can keep chipping away at the mid lane turret. Obviously, I think G2, they're always happy with a neutral state. If both junglers are revealing each other, they're happy because their lanes are scaling in the side of Camille, and Perks is just winning the 1v1 matchup. So as long as everybody else keeps the 4v4 even, Perks will snowball mid, and that seems to be exactly what is happening right now, and that's why we don't see much action, because the lack thereof will eventually benefit G2 Esports.
Yeah, I really want to see Xerxes trying to make a play with Vizicachi on that top lane to get that tower and like push that lane all the way out and then swap Vizicachi back down to the bottom side and maybe join a fight. But Xerxes is on kind of defending duty here. He's helping his bottom lane stay alive because Trick is around. Like, Xerxes is not here to gank. He's here to make sure they can actually push out a lane.
Yeah, this is where you play aggro on one side, passive on the other, and the aggro is in the mid lane. Exile is dying again! Again!
Easy. Perks absolutely destroying Exile. Exile got 1v1 multiple times in the semi-final.
And he actually touches his hair every time he dies. It's like his nervous tick, and he's been touching it quite a bit this game. This Perks definitely the better mid laner in this particular matchup.
So just like in the semi-final when Exile would die in lane 1v1 to Power Vivo, the other lanes will suddenly pick up all the slack, especially with Vizicachi up in the top lane. He's the man we're looking at in a game like this. But this tower here, it's so low, but he's not getting any assists, so he can't really just kill it. He's slowly grinding it down. Maybe the minions will help him, or maybe Expect will keep it alive on like 10 HP. Get in there, Chachi!
Couple more hits. Vizicachi
do it!
Expect manages to jump in with the hook shot. Tower goes down. Equalizer comes up. Chachi wants to trade. Flashes away from Trick. Gets the tower. Gets the kill. But then gets taken down.
Now I call worth it if I'm Vizicachi right here. You get a TP from Perks, you get ulti from Trick, and you get that first tower gold for your team.
But that is the 4th kill of the game for Perks.
Yeah, 5 out of 6 kills. Perkz is involved in right now, and it's fine. It is a beneficial trade unless it tips over Perkz into such a disgusting point that he can start annihilating anybody on the map wherever he so damn pleases, and that may be worrying for the Unicorns.
Might get a fight in mid lane. Sven with the arrow.
Okay, where's Miffy? He's looking for the Glacial Fissure. Exile's in trouble. No flash, no Shadow Assault. Hylissang gets tagged by the ECA. Now parkour over the wall and Exile's escape. Perkz was slowed down by the exhaust. Shadow Assault comes out. Hylissang is taken down by Sven, and Vizicachi teleports in. He's got no equalizer, remember. Double kill to Sven.
Why? Why? Why would you join without ulti on Rumble?
I don't know, because you're trying to help.
Don't help. Just let him die. The guy overextended. It's fine. You lost the support.
And it looked so good for a moment then, but Perkz, that's actually a really tricky flash to pull off. Now Samux is trapping Expector in the bottom lane. Has to run, he's fine. But again, like, it's so hard to actually distortion back and then flash that wall, because the camera movement involved is very tricky. And now we can see the first part. Watch him go.
You realize the minions won't help him.
He has to do it alone. One man, one mission. Vizicachi. He loves doing this flash on Rumble.
Ah, it's really good. Gets the kill, so then he just forced 3 guys on top side. Summoners, he got the tower, everything. But then this happens in mid. Exile overstays. Now he needs Hylissang to help him. So Hylissang will obviously sacrifice his own HP to get the talent out. At this point of view, Unicorns, disengage. You do not need to turn around. But they actually did. Spoiler alert. Vizicachi and Hylissang both died.
And that allows G2 to get their 8th kill of the game. We're getting up to 20 minutes. Unicorns of Love somehow have to find their way back in. This is a game where Unicorns once again do or die. Match point, championship points. The #1 team in Europe and a flight to Brazil is on the line.
Just a flight though.
They
actually get a hotel room too.
I can't make more promises for G2 because they've started doing better. You know, they're looking stronger. IEM made the finals after an interesting playoff, and
no records will be broken this game, Trevor.
no,
My favorite concept in the game.
Main problem though for G2 when it comes to international tournament, Trevor, now you talked about it, it's always been the best of ones.
Yeah.
In Europe, they get to play these BO3s, BO5s. They get to, obviously, if they lose the first game, they get to change things, adapt. They lost the game in this series. They adapted, they changed the pick and ban phase, removed every single jungle ban, and they're looking much better.
And they keep scaling against familiar opponents. That is one of G2's strengths, why they will always be a great European playoff team, because they analyze their opponents, who they play in the European LCS on the regular, who they play in scrims, and they just adapt and improve. It's when they play against opponents they haven't played against picks that they haven't played against, like Aurelion Sol and CLG, games where suddenly their turrets start falling down early, or super slow games that they're not used to playing, that's when they falter.
So Rito, please make it BO3s. G2 will succeed.
Well, G2 are currently succeeding in the final. Equalizer gets thrown down by Vizicachi. Samux is up on the front line. Look at that unbreakable shield from Mibby doing a lot of work. Optimistic, and it fails.
Yeah, they're stalling the 5 because that leaves the side lanes empty here. Expect isn't even pushing onwards because the Tahm Kench defensive rotation comes out right now. Abyssal Void is used because, again, it is all about Perkz.
Yeah, now, as we know, G2 scouted this playstyle. They talked about it before the game. We've seen it in the game. They know it's a 5-man mid lane from Unicorns of Love, and they play defensive and they win the side lanes. That's always the answer. When Unicorns are behind in the split push, they try and hard engage. The hard engage in this comp is only Xerxes, but it was Vizicachi with ulti who tried to engage.
Oh,
needs to be Gragas.
Damage. Vizicachi's down. Just so easily secured by G2. You know, you talked about Perkz. He's 2,500 gold up over Exile. Approaching Flame Horizon. Unbreakable blocks a lot of projectile spin. Gets dropped down by an explosive cast. It's a reply kill.
Oh, the trade!
Here comes Expect. They swap places. The hook shot doesn't find a target.
Perkz though.
And Perkz wants to find Samux. Samux gets devoured, distorts back to his original position. Xerxes gets locked in place, but G2 maintain the lead.
Yeah, but it still was one of those flanks that Unicorns were so known for, constantly reappearing in that mid lane. They had to use Tahm Kench ultimate defensively to the top lane, so at least fighting back, but you see just how prepared G2 are and how willing they're still to fight, even if they lose one of their key members.
And I want to turn the attention to UOL just a little bit because they are trying to fight their way back into this matchup. They were the underdogs in the final. And yes, this is the best UOL that we've seen in 5 splits since their debut, since they made finals against Fnatic. But there is still room to grow. There is still things for this team to learn. Champion pools is one of those things that was a big deciding factor. You've seen it play out throughout the series.
Yeah, and while it's the best Unicorns of Love we've ever seen, it's also the best G2 Esports we've ever seen. Like this split, more infrastructure, kept the same lineup from last year and just said, you know what, we're just gonna practice, and then we're gonna go to another international tournament and we're gonna show how good we actually are. Fight up here though.
Decent sidesteps by Exile. Teleports coming down from Vizicachi.
Oh, he stops him.
Parkour over the wall. Expect body blocks. Vizicachi throws down the equalizer. Does the Vizicachi flash, but Perkz will not fall prey. Expect gets the passive shield. Survives! Survives!
Oh, he's alive in the end. Chachi did get hit by the chains despite him trying to flash. So close when it comes to trading kills. Sven died in mid lane though.
So he got picked up, but both these top laners did such an excellent job keeping their flashes in the key moment. Now Hillsang, again, he has to use that Abyssal Voyage defensively. When the Unicorns were winning in the split and having such a great performance, he was using that offensively, constantly appearing where they did not expect him. Perkz, distortion warding.
Checking. See, is anyone here?
Yeah, dropped a ward too on the way out. So he's super safe.
Super efficient.
Like how you need the blast gun for that one, so just placing it in the brush and then jumping back out. But obviously taking the blast gun is very good.
It's the style points.
I mean, you gotta keep in mind, Unicorns could use that blast gun to kill it.
Knock him out, yeah. He's been consistently removing blast guns before distorting forward, because obviously that could punish him.
And now, obviously, Unicorns comp here. Do you have tools to deal with things like LeBlanc in a team fight? You have the Time Kench to help you. But the split push is so hard now because you have this TP LeBlanc always pushing one side, the TP Camille always pushing the other one. So the group mid is once again the call for Unicorns of Love. But as we said earlier, hard engage is only Xerxes, and he's holding on to the flash still. He needs to use it aggressively. He needs to use it often to actually start fights. So expect goes in.
No teleports available for anybody when we jump out of this one. The body block was so great.
Yeah, because Exile with the TP thinks, okay, let's chase and kill him. Gets blocked. Could have waited definitely for Chachi to actually complete the teleport, and this 2v2 would have gone completely different. Exile is probably feeling a lot of pressure on him after dying so many times, and he's making some mistakes that are costing his team a lot in this fourth game.
Yeah, that's when you rub your face. That's when you know it was so close. I wonder if Expect even knew about the passive coming, and this is Sven. Kind of getting caught out here. Let's see. So they're catting. Yeah, this is with a good flash forward. Then no flash.
Now let's see whether or not that comes to hurt.
It already happened, guys. It's already happened, and G2 is still winning.
Yeah, 6,000 gold nearly up. The G2 army definitely in a numbers disadvantage here in Hamburg. But they're bringing an arsenal that UOL simply can't compete with
Down
right
to the
now.
bottom lane.
Chachi with a defensive equalizer. Abyssal Voyage from Hillsang comes up. Where's the support from G2? Hook shot to get away. Samux has got red buff. He's got a kill onto Trick. The Devour movement speed allows Hilly to waddle closer to Expect. Keeps using that Caitlyn range.
Yeah, but the support of G2 is with their AD carry in the mid lane right now, and they're sieging on this turret. Tier 2 Perkz looking to assist as well. They do not want Sven to get caught here, and they're just looking for a gold versus death trade, but Xerxes is around.
Oh, Perkz goes in quite aggressively onto Xerxes. Unable to get the chains to connect, but the tower survives.
So I like the defensive move here from Tam Kench down to the bottom lane. G2 diving in, probably thinking that even if Tam Kench shows up, we get a mid tower at least, and then we then trade tower for kill. But Unicorns do manage to defend. Tower is low. Mid lane tower here is open for them. Chachi flanking, no ulti.
No ulti available. Perkz, however, jumps on the back line. The chains locked down Hilly, so does the Ash Arrow. Xerxes spat out for safety. The double destruction. Exhaust comes down. Perkz is down. Perkz is down. Samux now turns around. He's got double buffs. What is the call?
You have to remember with the new LeBlanc here, it's not about the distortion AoE damage. No. It's jump in, hit one target, jump back. He tried to get so much AoE damage down that he got locked in place, and he just...
They got annihilated. There just wasn't enough damage here for the G2 to make a play as they were aiming for. They were playing it super signature G style, super slow here. This is where it all started. Vizicachi, it is the Zonias that buys just enough time for this entire play to work.
Yeah, but now the call for G2 is, okay guys, they're 3-man bot lane, rush the mid tower. See if you can just trade that for a kill. And then it would have been a good trade for G2.
Problem is, minions are really slow.
They are very slow, you can't really speed them up that easily. This is the mid lane flank from Chachi, but he doesn't have ulti, so it's not really a threat. Then look at Perkz here. Old LeBlanc, this would have been a fantastic use of distortion. New LeBlanc, that's not where your damage comes from.
Yeah, they could have just focused frontline Vizicachi like they usually would do in a safe range. That is the benefit of G2's teamfighting style this entire series. they just hit the front line out of range, and they play a much more efficient style. This was over-eager hubris from Perkz.
Samix in the last game on Lucian, he went off 7-1-7. He's been kick-started this time around. It's 27 minutes in, guys. It's a 5,000 gold lead for G2, which is still substantial.
Yeah.
But Unicorns are showing they can still win team fights as long as they can keep Samix alive and relevant.
Again, it is that pure team fight come from the Unicorns of Love. It's how they want to try and win the game. Chachi is just trying to defend. Exile, looking for a potential pick here.
Has to be careful though.
Exile's gonna parkour over the wall. The engage from Trick. Exile gets caught up by the bowler strike. Samix and Hilly down in the bottom half of your map.
Expect just won the duel in the bottom lane. Kill Chachi, will take the tower. Expects Camille has been very good this series here. This guy deserves, a lot of credit. It's a guy everyone criticized last year as well.
Yeah,
now he's been picking up the slack.
Always put in position of the weakest member of G2, but that doesn't inherently make him weak. And right now there's actually Baron pressure for G2 because they have bot lane pushing, they have Expect basing. He's undoubtedly looking to use a teleport in the 15-second window here. That Visit Chachi is still dead.
Well, luckily Vizicachi can still TP in to a fight. Equalizer's not available to him, but look at Expect. There's no answer here from G2.
He waited, then he started pushing once he saw that Unicorns was reacting, and now G2 is going for the Nashor. They need to force them to the base first, then make the play around Nashor. If they kept going for Nashor defense, then they would have just kept split pushing, and this is the beauty. Technically, G2 could have done Baron here. That's why Xerxes is so afraid face checking.
I mean, this playoffs, G2 have just fully unlocked Expect. He's played carries after carries, Camille so many times, and G2 are playing the map extremely effectively. Look at the pressure they're applying around Baron, trying to force UOL's hand to come to them.
Might need the same kind of fight we saw last game for Unicorns to win, where it's G2 starting a Baron, then getting caught a bit out of position by Xerxes on the Gragas, but G2 probably learned from that game. They normally have really good Baron setups. They're normally really good at understanding, when is it too risky.
Yeah.
That was one of the problems they had last year, but it would cost them games. Now that we see this one-on-one down the bottom lane, Expect nice little thing in the end. He stays with the hook shot on the wall, reactivated once Hourglass is gone, gets the kill. But yeah, as I said before, last year they lost games due to Baron setups. They lost games because they panicked.
Yeah, and their in-moment shot calling for Barons isn't the greatest either. When they have to toss and turn around and really shake it up its head, when they have everything planned out, G2, fantastic team. But it's when suddenly convention gets challenged is when they struggle.
We have seen very few poor Barons for them this split. They've been much better at actually doing that, and it's good to see them really improving certain things.
Right now, 4 people in the mid lane, so G2 want to hold. They say passive mindset mid, wait for pressure bot. That is their goal right now, and the Unicorns, obviously, they want to punish that. And as we see, Trick right now is on Krugs. This is something that is so inherent to his style. When a lot of teams are under pressure, they kind of just turtle up. But Trick will always be clearing his camps consistently throughout the game, looking for maximizing the gains.
Look at the mini-map. There are no jungle camps available for G2, and I can count 1, 2, 3 of them available for UOL. Of course, they were sieging the mid lane, unable to clear out the jungle at the time. But they're still behind, still trailing the defending champions.
And just like in the series against Misfits from Unicorns of Love, as we said earlier, when Exile fell behind, it was everyone else who picked up all the slack here. Exile just needs to honestly make sure he doesn't die in a side lane, because Samix is now sitting on 3 items on this Caitlyn here. Gragas is fairly strong at this point. Unicorns of Love need to win fights through the AD carry, not the mid laner.
Important Skull Crab here, because we see the bot lane pressure funneled over, so Expect pushes bot, he goes mid, which means that the remaining 4 members of G2 can play topside around the Nashor. Having some vision there with the Skull Crab slows it down. Now Expect obviously goes back to bottom line, because he wants to punish Vizicachi for trying to push out.
Exile on the way though, so Expect he knows he can't really overextend. Well, go for it anyway.
Did not anticipate the engage. Now Expect running away. Throws down the Hextech ultimatum. Shadow Assault as well on the minimap. G2 are making their way to Baron. Electro Harpoon misses. The minions body block, but the Wraith does not.
But this Baron here is risky because Chachi has teleport. There's no mountain drakes, it's just clouds. This simply means that Unicorns can stop G2 very easily and they get a kill bot lane.
Yeah, and G2 is a team that will never seemingly go for a 50-50, so it just was a fake out. Expect overextending, and when you have
just
this...
when we praised him, he knows. He knows. Go aggressive. Oh, he jumps back in.
Hylissang's not going to get caught out by those change decks. He's body slammed over the wall. Still got flash available to him and that explosive cask, and Hilly's going to get access to the Abyssal Void. He used it defensively earlier.
Now, a team that is willing to go for 50-50s and is actually a perennial Baron stealing team is the Unicorns of Love here, and they're looking to do something, but they have no Rumble ultimate and they're facing a very organized G2 Esports.
G2 are trying to flank. Perks comes in with a double distort combo. Mithy's all the way up forward. Look at Samix! Perks has almost insta-gibbed him. Hylissang's gonna need to devour Samix in a second. They've got Perks, but it's at the cost of Xerxes. Now UOL are running for their
Teleport
lives.
behind him, expect it's on the way, full HP.
Hextech Ultimatum is available. He's gonna look for a target. The hook shot. Oh, look at that! The tactical sweep picks up one. Precision protocol makes it a double. Expects not done. Samix is running for his life. He gets shut down. Trick gets one more, and the Hylissang will be the last standing member for UOL.
Expect will get him down eventually, but this now means the
Hit him!
No!
He escapes! He runs! Run with him! Don't!
But look at the mid lane, guys. Look at the mid lane.
Oh, look at this
not done
battle!
yet.
Support versus support! Supportal combat!
That one is dying.
Who will win? No, Expect that's not fair. Fatality. G2 Esports.
They still get the inhib. They will get the Baron. Unicorns of Love, they had no Rumble ulti. There was TP on Expect. Them rushing that Baron ended up costing them so much.
And that is what they do. They don't play with 50% of the chips in the pot. 70-80 goes in if it wins. Or if it pays out, they pay out big. But if it fails, G2 may hit the final nail in the coffin here.
If there was ever a UOL style call, that could have just been it.
Yeah, they go down in the same way as they usually try to win.
So, at this point here, if you're Unicorns, you know you have to fight. You can't just finish the Baron, so it needs
Yes,
to
you
turn at the same time. Well, I guess you could try, but that probably means you all die at the same time. But they don't manage to turn at the same time here. Xerxes goes in, Perks flanks from the back and dies. Now, the front line of Unicorns dropping.
And Samix also out of the fight because he's so scared of what's going on out there. Good devour. But honestly, it was a great engage still from Xerxes. Body Slam flash catching two, but it's his teleport. This was exactly what they were trying to avoid here.
Also with Perks flank, getting so much damage on Samix. Started the whole thing for G2, and then even though it was a good engage from Xerxes, it was a very good flank from the LeBlanc. A good game overall for Perks.
Really good Zonias there as well. Just buying time solo in the backline. He can jump around. He is becoming quite the menace here. Now he's under pressure from Exile.
All right, is there any support? Exile fancies his chances, parkouring forward. Perks is the one that's actually losing this trade. Abyssal Voyage from Hylissang.
And jukes the observers even.
Yeah, no blast cone available, so Perks needs to flash over the wall. The cost of an Abyssal Voyage, but look at G2 with Baron with a 10,000 gold lead. They've already got an inhibitor in the middle lane. They're taking a second inhibitor in the bottom lane. G2, the army has come, and they just need one final push.
Yeah, and they play as a unit. When you aggressive to one side, he folds, he yields, and the remaining part of the squad then puts cross-map pressure going for the inhib, and they're fighting against the Unicorn's aggressive style of just commit onto one lane super hard and get the kill with the necessary patience.
Getting that Baron meant everything for G2 Esports. Unicorns suddenly can't push anywhere. Unicorns can't force any fights right now. It's every lane getting pushed in, either super minions or champions.
And last game we saw G2 kind of falter here. They were pushing it a bit too deep. Actually, the second game it was not waiting for all the minions right now. A lot more poise. Vizichachi under pressure again.
Yeah, he's got that hourglass if it's needed, and it might just be Baron Empowered minions starting to hammer away. Xerxes just body slams the supers to buy some time. 2 Nexus towers remaining, but the last inner turret in the top lane is down. It's a 13,000 gold lead. Samix needs to be devoured as Perks has once again forced him away from the fight.
Yeah, it's the final siege here for G2 Esports. A massive goal advantage. 2 Cloud Drakes to their name.
Rengar in the bottom lane as well, pushing in on the Nexus turrets.
Abyssal Voyage comes down from Hylissang, delivering Samix. They caught Trick out. He's gonna get dropped down. One more hit from Samix. G2 need to back away.
Yeah, but it's great time because there was not a minion wave in the top lane. Vizichachi is holding, so maybe the Unicorns can actually survive a little bit longer.
Oh, Vizichachi stays alive a few seconds longer. He's already used the equalizer. Body slam onto Expect. Shadow Assault comes out. Where is Samix? Hylissang is already down. Samix is running backwards, kiting, trying to put the damage onto Expect. Ash Arrow catches out onto Xerxes. This could be the final fight. G2, double kill for Perks. Samix is left alone in the base. Vizichachi trying to turn it around, but the Nexus turrets are falling.
Sven completely clean house in this fight. Now Perks is buying the final moment.
He will indeed. Perks has led his team to victory. The Nexus is the focus, and this is the G2 Dynasty. G2 Esports take the series 3-1. Three titles in a row.
They came in as the heavy favorites to this series here. Unicorns of Love managed to take that one game, but game 1, game 2, game 4, G2 Esports just were always 1 or 2 steps ahead of Unicorns.
And they came prepared, both in pick and ban and in game. Yes, they may falter, but in a best-of series, they always domestically fight their way back.
G2 Esports, once again, the three-peat. Long live the Kings of Europe, G2 Esports! G2 defend their title against the strongest opposition that Europe could muster. And it fell short. Unicorns, it was a fantastic spring split. The crowd behind UOL the entire time.
But it doesn't matter whether the crowd or the fans are behind them. They have to bend the knee to the king.
I mean, we heard it in the end. People were cheering for G2 because
Yes.
you need to accept that these guys are a fantastic team. They're dominating in Europe. They will represent us again at MSI, and they talk so much about showing how good they are.
And they
Teaming themselves.
They understand League of Legends when it comes to skirmish, team fights, rotations, macro. They have the full package.
Mithy had some strong words in the Berlin studio, saying to fans, believe in us, give us a chance. Now G2, you have your chance to prove your worth, to earn the respect of Europe, much like UOL has today.
And they can be happy with their split. Obviously, they're building up quite the foundation here, both culture, in team, in fandom.